Good day everyone, my name is Hanelit Lupian and I'm going to report the topic entitled Learning Organization, its definition and its characteristics. There are many definitions of a learning organization as well as typologies of kinds of learning organization. Author of the fifth discipline, The Art and Practice of the Learning Organization, popularized the term learning organization in the early 90s. He defines learning organization as organizations that encourage adaptive and generative learning, encouraging their employees to think outside the box and work in conjunction with other employees to find the best answer to any problem. Learning organizations may develop as a result of the pressures facing modern organizations. This enables them to remain competitive in the business environment. Peter Senge stated in an interview that a learning organization is a group of people working together collectively to enhance their capacities to create results they really care about. Learning organization, which they call a learning company, is an organization that facilitates the learning of all its members and continuously transforms itself. Learning of all its members means that learning organizations must embrace learning at all levels, which means that management and executive level employees have to embrace learning and foster creative thinking from the corner office to the production floor. There are three aspects of a learning organization. First is learning environment, learning process and practices, and the third is leadership. In learning environment, people need to feel safe to express their opinions, take risks, examine failure, and challenge dominant ideologies. Differences are appreciated and there is an openness to new ideas because it disrupts inertia and encourages innovation. In learning processes and practices, all kinds of information from a variety of sources, both internal and external, are collected, analyzing and interpreting it to solve problems and identify trends. Learning organizations also have a deep commitment to learning processes and practices. Learning organizations also share their knowledge through training using a variety of methods, and they also use assessment to foster continual improvement. In leadership, leaders in a learning organization are learners themselves. They set the example for others and facilitate the learning environment, as well as learning processes and practices. There are five characteristics or disciplines of learning organizations. First is the systems thinking. Next is personal mastery. We have team learning, mental models, and shared vision. The characteristics of a learning organization will help managers and employees meet these challenges by providing them tools to pursue a creative vision, learn and work together effectively, and adapt to change. The idea of learning organization developed from a body of work called systems thinking. Systems thinking is the idea that we're part of an interrelated system, not a disjointed set of personal silos. Systems thinking addresses the whole and creates an understanding of how parts are interconnected. Sanji said, systems thinking is a sensibility for the subtle interconnectedness that gives living systems their unique character. Learning organizations use this method of thinking when assessing their company and have information systems that measure the performance of the organization as a whole and of its various components. Systems thinking states that all the characteristics of a learning organization must be apparent at once in an organization for it to be a learning organization. If some of these characteristics are missing, then the organization will fall short of its goal. Systems thinking allows people to study businesses as bounded objects. Learning organizations possess information systems to assess the performance of the organization and its component as a whole. Second is the personal mastery. It is the commitment by an individual to the process of learning. It is also called the cornerstone of a learning organization. In an interview, Sangis called personal mastery the cornerstone of a learning organization. Learning is considered to be more than just acquiring information. It is expanding the ability to be more productive by learning how to apply our skills to work in the most valuable way. Personal mastery is the development of the capacity to accomplish personal goals. Individual learning is acquired through staff training, development, and continuous self-improvement. However, learning cannot be forced upon an individual who is not receptive to learning. Personal mastery makes possible many positive outcomes such as individual performance, self-efficacy, self-motivation, sense of responsibility, commitment, patience, and focus on relevant matters, as well as work-life balance and well-being. Research shows that most learning in the workplace is incidental rather than the product of formal training. Therefore, it is important to develop a culture where personal mastery is practiced in daily life. Third is mental models. Personal mental models describe what people can or cannot detect. To become a learning organization, this model must be identified and challenged. Individuals tend to espouse theories which are what they intend to follow, and theories in use, which are what they actually do. Similarly, organization tends to have memories which preserve certain behaviors, norms, and values. Mental models are the assumptions and generalizations held by individuals and organizations. With a mental model, we understand how our deeply ingrained assumptions and generalizations affect our interactions and decisions. Fourth is the shared vision. It provides the answer to the question, what do we want to create or accomplish? The development of a shared vision is important in motivating the staff to learn, as it creates a common identity that provides focus and energy for learning. A shared vision is only possible in an environment of trust and collaboration instead of compliance to directives from on high. The shared vision is often to succeed against a competitor. However, states that these are transitory goals and suggests that there should also be a long-term goals that are intrinsic within the company. The last is the team learning. Team learning is process of adapting and developing the team capacity to create the results that its members really want. Team learning requires individuals to engage in dialogue and discussion. In a learning organization, teams learn how to think together. Therefore, team members must develop open communication, shared meaning, and shared understanding. The benefit of team or shared learning is that staff learn more quickly and the problem-solving capacity of the organization is improved through better access to knowledge and expertise. Learning organizations have structures that facilitate team learning, with features such as boundary crossing and openness. In team meetings, members can learn better from each other by concentrating on listening, avoiding interruption, being interested, and responding. There are three dimensions of team learning according to Sangi. First, the ability to think insightfully about complex issues. Second, the ability to take innovative coordinated action. And the last is the ability to create a network that will allow other teams to take action as well. The 5K characteristics mentioned above distinguish a learning organization from the rest. These attributes serve as the guiding principles and practices that these organizations study and integrate. A blend of these core characteristics helps organizations adapt a more interconnected way of thinking. By adapting and mastering these core characteristics, organizations become communities that employees can commit to. That's all about learning organization and its characteristics. Let me end my session through the saying that goes, to practice a discipline is to be a lifelong learner. You never arrive. The more you learn, the more acutely aware you become of your ignorance. By Peter Senge.